Hi all, today we'll be learning about introduction to salt. So let us know more about salt. What is salt? We know that we are eating common salt, which is sodium chloride. So how these salts are formed? Salts are formed by the basic reaction called as neutralization reaction, in which the acid reacts with base to form salt and water. So we need a acid and we need a base. So one such common neutralization reaction that we are seeing in our daily life is acidity. See, when you have acidity, when you have indigestion problem, you always go for ENO, Digene or Gelusil, which are basic in nature. So this acid is neutralized by base. So a salt is formed and you will not have this burning sensation. So how are salts formed? Salts are formed by the reaction called neutralization reaction, in which the acid reacts with base to form salt and water. So let us know more about the examples of acid and base. So we have strong acid, weak acid, strong base and weak base. So what is it? What is the major difference between strong and weak? See, acids generally they dissolve in water and they dissociate to form H plus ions. See, when they completely ionize to form more number of H plus ions, they are strong acid. And few examples are HCl, H2SO4, that is sulfuric acid, nitric acid, hydrobromic acid, hydroiodic acid. Similarly, weak acid, they give less amount of H plus ion, which means they do not completely ionize, they partially ionize. So the examples are acetic acid, sulfurous acid, phosphoric acid and carbonic acid. Please remember the formula. Similarly, for strong base, they completely ionize to form more amount of OH minus ions, and few examples of strong bases are NaOH, KOH, CaOH twice, that is calcium hydroxide. And similarly, weak base, they partially ionize and they have less amount of OH minus ions. See, ammonium hydroxide, there is NH4OH, copper hydroxide, iron hydroxides are very weak in nature. So now the key point to remember, the very important key point to remember, we know that acid plus base gives salt and water. If the acid is strong and the base is also strong, or if the acid is weak and the base is also weak, we get neutral salts. So both strong or both weak, neutral salt. Similarly, if we have strong acid plus weak base, so which one is strong here? Acid is strong. So we get the acidic salt and water. Similarly, if weak acid reacts with strong base, whichever is strong, see either the acid is strong or the base is strong, that salt will be formed. Here the base is strong, so basic salt will be formed along with water. So the case is if the acid and base both strong and both weak, the salt formed will be neutral salt and the pH range will be equal to 7. If the acid is strong and the base is weak, then acidic salt will be formed where the pH is less than 7 for acid, and for basic salt the pH is greater than 7. Next, let us see a few examples of the reactions. Remember the strong acid and strong base that is given in the table. See, we have the common example HCl, NaOH. This is one acid, that is hydrochloric acid, and this is a base, that is sodium hydroxide, gives sodium chloride. See how this is, see, you see HCl. See this H and this OH is removed as water. H and OH is removed as water. What is remaining here? NaCl. So this NaCl will be formed as a product, that is salt. So now just check this. HCl, it comes under strong acid, and NaOH, it comes under strong base. So both are strong. Both are strong means that gives the neutral salt, where the pH range will be equal to 7. And that's why it is edible. See here, it's given wrong. It is not pH is lesser than 7. pH is equal to 7. That is why we are eating this salt. Next example is H3PO4 plus calcium hydroxide gives calcium phosphate and water. Let us see here H3PO4. H3PO4 is phosphoric acid, which is a weak acid. So it's a weak acid. CaOH twice. It is a strong base. So weak acid and strong base. Which is strong here? Base is strong. So this salt is basic in nature. So the pH range will be greater than 7. Just check. So you have to just remember the examples of strong acid and strong base what is given in this side. So you can easily find out whether the given salt is acidic or basic. Next is HNO3. This is nitric acid, and ammonium hydroxide NH4OH. This is a base. So just check where this base lies. This base is under weak base. HNO3. So this is under strong acid. So strong acid plus weak base gives acidic salt, which is ammonium nitrate. So what will be the pH range here? This is acidic salt. So pH will be lesser than 7. So now, how to find out acid and base if the salt is given? It's very easy. See, suppose a salt is given as calcium carbonate. Always you have to just break it as two parts. That is, the first part is positive ion and the second part is a negative ion. So the first part is always for base. Just add OH to the first part. So CaOH twice, calcium hydroxide. Then to the second part, in front of it add hydrogen. So H2CO3. Now just check where this CaOH twice lies. It is a strong base. H2CO3, it's a weak acid. So weak acid plus strong base gives basic salt. So calcium carbonate is basic in nature. Next one, sodium sulfate, Na2SO4. So the first part is Na and second part is SO4. So first part is for base, second part is for acid. So first part Na, you will add OH to it, and the second part you will write hydrogen and add the second part, NaOH and H2SO4. Now just check where this NaOH lies. NaOH is strong base and H2SO4 is again a strong acid. Both are strong, both are weak, then it is a neutral salt. So CaCO3 is basic salt. The first part is strong base. So it's a basic salt. Second part is weak acid. Next, Na2SO4, neutral salt. We know that NaOH is a strong base and H2SO4 is a strong acid. So both are strong, it gives a neutral salt. CaCO3 is a basic salt and Na2SO4 is a neutral salt. So if they give the salt and ask you to find whether it's acidic, basic or neutral, first thing is you have to just write the first part for base and the second part for acid, and then from this table just you have to connect it whether it is strong or weak. Then you have to come to conclusion that it is a basic salt, acidic salt or neutral salt. How will they ask the question? So it's very easy, that which of the following salts is neutral, or classify the following salt into acidic, basic or neutral. So they've given few salts like this. You have to remember the first part is always for base and the second part is always for acid. So you have NaNO3, K2SO4, NH4 twice CO3, Ca3PO4 twice and NH4NO3. So just quickly check. NaNO3 means first part is for base, NaOH, H2NO3 both are strong, so it's a neutral salt. K2SO4, this is KOH and H2SO4 both are strong, so it's a neutral salt. NH4OH, H2CO3 both are weak, so it's again a neutral salt. Ca3PO4 twice, That is H3PO4, it's a weak acid. CaOH twice, it's a strong base, so it's a basic salt. Next is NH4NO3, HNO3, and NH4OH, which is a weak base. So here acid is strong, so it's a acidic salt. So either they will ask which of the following as neutral salt, or classify the following into acidic, basic and neutral salt. And what will be the pH for neutral salt? The pH will be equal to 7. For acidic salt, it is lesser than 7, and for basic salt, it is greater than 7. Kindly remember. Thank you.